Hey, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today to sit there and see what we all have cooking. Grab a hold of that vine, swing right on in my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. Hey there, good looking. I'm so glad you came to my kitchen because that's right. I'm grabbing my balls and I'm putting them to the wall. And I'm filling up my pantry a little bit at a time. And today, I'm going to sit there and show you another goodie that you may want to sit there and put up on your pantry shelves, or just even to help you out through these hot summer months, and maybe even to help out feeding them kiddos at lunchtime. So, we're going to sit there and show you how I do spaghetti. Now, maybe some of yous are brought up on the Chef Boyardee spaghetti in a can from the stores, or I think Campbell's also puts out a canned spaghetti. Well, I'm going to sit there and show you a much cheaper version of them type of a recipes. So, what we're going to be needing, and I'm using pint jars when I'm making mine, so pint jars. Canning lids, canning rings. You're also going to want a bowl full of vinegar, canning funnel, debubbler, napkin or paper toweling, jar lifter. You're going to be needing some spaghetti, and for each jar, you're going to need a little under bit of a half of a cup of broken spaghetti. You're going to be needing, what is this? 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. You're going to be needing, and this is what we're going to be adding to our tomato paste and stuff. The beef bouillon. I have some Italian seasoning. Now, if you don't have Italian seasoning, you can sit there and go ahead and make your own by using 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon onion, and 1/4 teaspoon thyme, and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a dash of pepper. And we're going to be needing 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, now, a neat little trick when you're cooking with pasta, and I learned the hard way. I found it much easier to first put a little bit of the liquid down into your canning jar before placing any of your pasta in. But we're not going to do that right now, because right now we're going to sit there and make our spaghetti sauce. Now, go ahead, grab yourself a saucepan. Now, I'm going to go over and open up my can of tomato paste. I opened up my tomato paste. Now we're just going to add this to our saucepan. And then after you're done getting all the tomato paste into your saucepan, we're gonna add four of these cans, and these are the 6-ounce cans of water, and add 4 water to the saucepan. So I'll be back. First can of water. Now I like to sit there and just take my spatula and kind of mix it all up in the can to get maybe any of the goodies that were left behind. Now 3 more. Okay, we had added 4 cans. Now let's add let's mix up them 4 cans of water with the 1 can of tomato paste, so it's all nicely incorporated with each other. So I'm gonna keep mixing, and I'll be back when this is all nice and mixed up together. And by the way, I have my pressure canner on the stove, already nice and hot, ready and waiting. We're going to be taking this over to the stove real soon as we're done adding the rest of our ingredients, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, I'm going to grab 1 teaspoon of my Italian seasoning mix. And we're going to add that. And then we're also going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. And we're just gonna sit there and add just a pinch of pepper. Now we're gonna open up our beef bouillon. We're gonna take our 1 teaspoon, and we're gonna measure out 1 hearty teaspoon worth of beef bouillon. Now go ahead, mix all this up together, and now we're gonna take it over to the stove and just bring it up to a simmer. Okay, we're gonna sit there and take this over to the stove, and we're gonna heat this all up and get all the herbs and stuff all rehydrated and mixed up into our sauce. So we'll be back. Let's pull the spaghetti sauce off the stove. Here it all is. I'm gonna put that all on a hot pad. Now I'm gonna grab my jar lifter. I'm gonna get a hot canning jar out of my canner. Gonna bring it over here. Gonna put my canning funnel on. I have my canning ladle right here. Now, remember I told you I like to add some liquids down in the bottom of the canning jar? And then I'll come over here and I'll grab, I use a little bit less than a half cup because I find out if I use a half cup, it soaks up too much of the sauce on me, and I like mine a little bit on the saucy side. So, add your noodles. And I'm not gonna add any salt or anything because I figure there's enough sodium from the beef bouillon that we used. So now I'm gonna sit there and continue to ladle in the spaghetti sauce. We're gonna leave 1 inch head space. Okay, we're right up there at the 1 inch head space. I'm gonna grab my debubbler and we're just gonna come in and kind of give a jab at the broken spaghetti noodles. And take your time when you're doing this. You don't want them to go all into one solid mass. You're gonna want them to be broken up and running freely throughout the jar. I'm gonna grab another canning jar of the canner. Place my funnel right into that. Let's go ahead. Now I gotta get a half a cup of broken spaghetti noodles. I broke up some more spaghetti noodles. Let's add them to our canning jar. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the spaghetti sauce before finishing to add off the broken spaghetti noodles. Okay, now I don't know if that's getting it, but as you see, I don't have quite enough liquid to go up to the 1 inch head space. Have no fear, this is what I do when something like that may happen. I just go up onto my pantry shelf and I go and I grab my tomato bouillon. Now I'm gonna sit there and use about, I'll say, a teaspoon of the tomato bouillon. We'll go ahead and add that. And then to the rest of this canning jar, I'm gonna sit there and add water. I have some water right here, and it's warm water. Maybe I can use just a little bit of this one. Now I'm going to grab the debubbler. We're going to debubble this last jar behind you before I go off into this jar with the funnel. Okay. Now I'm going to come up here and remove the funnel. And we're just going to debubble and stir the noodles. So, debubble, stir the noodles up good. Okay. Remove the debubbler. Now, I put some vinegar in my bowl right there. I grabbed myself a napkin. I'm going to dip it in the vinegar. And we're just going to go right across the top of these canning jars. Because you do not want any residue of any food particles on the rim of these jars. I'm going to grab the canning lids and the canning rings. Let's get our canning lids all on our jars. Now put your canning rings on, and we're gonna finger tighten them. You're not gonna crank them on. Just until you feel resistance. So I'm gonna sit there and quick label my canning process here, so I don't have to do that after I pull them out. I went ahead, I labeled mine. Now off to the pressure canner these go. I'm gonna sit there and vent my pressure canner for 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna put the 10-pound weight that's required for the area where I live. Now you have to sit there and do your own research and see what proper poundage you should be using on your pressure canner. Like I say, for my area, it's 10 pounds. I put my 10-pound weight on. I build the pressure inside my pressure canner back up to the 10 pounds of pressure, and that is when you start your timing process of 10 minutes. Here's the spaghetti right out of the pressure canners. Now we're gonna leave this undisturbed for 24 hours. Then in the morning, I'm going to come back, remove the rings. We're going to wash up the jars. I don't have to label them because they already are labeled. And off to the pantry shelves. So there, that's how easy it was to make canned spaghetti. Now, if you liked what you saw here today, please give me a big old thumbs up. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, go up, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell. That way you'll always be notified every time I do put out a new video. And as always, here's to happy canning, but better yet, happy eatins'. Y'all come back now, you hear?